All right, so now to cover what is pasta exactly. Pasta is probably one of the most widely eaten foods in the world. It's something that's iconic with regards to Italian cooking in general. Whenever you think Italian food, you will of course think of pasta. In general, there are two different types of pasta, fresh pasta and dry pasta. These two pastas are two different species altogether. Fresh pasta is not better than dry pasta, and I think that that's a misconception that we often have, unfortunately. But one of the reasons that a lot of pastas are actually dried is to be able to maintain an intricate shape, like the ones that we have here. So we have Vesuvio, Casarecce, and Rotelli. These pastas would not be able to hold their shape would they be fresh. They would completely collapse. So one of the fun parts about dry pasta is that you can make a lot of really great shapes. Bucatini, for example, is a spaghetti with a perfect pinhole down the center. Now, would that pasta be fresh, that pinhole would collapse. That pinhole is there very much on purpose. It's there so that the sauce can infiltrate every individual strand of pasta. The Italians are very methodical about their pasta shapes, what sauce goes with what shape. So these little details make a big difference when we're talking about pasta. Al dente refers to the bite, the chew, that the pasta is still toothsome. This is something that you can only achieve really truly with a dried pasta, and again, it's one of the things that I really appreciate about a dried pasta. So it's cooking it to a point where it's still toothsome, that it still has a bite to it. Whole wheat pasta, I'm going to give you guys a little fun tip to never have to eat that again, because let's face it, whole wheat pasta is terrible. Nobody likes it. It tastes like cardboard. So a little fun trick if you do want to eat a little bit healthier, and this is great because it encourages people to eat pasta al dente. So a good quality pasta al dente is a beautiful thing, but it also has health benefits. So the more al dente that you eat your pasta, the better it is for you. What it does is it tricks your body into treating it as a complex carbohydrate. Therefore, you get less of an insulin spike because it takes your body, of course, longer to digest it, and therefore it is better for you. So throw away your whole wheat pasta. We're also going to cover a few myths and a few techniques that will really help you cook a good plate of pasta. Unfortunately, for some reason, there are a lot of old wives' tales that we are going to crush today, such as putting olive oil in your pasta water. We're going to learn a little bit about how to properly salt your pasta water, how to properly finish a plate of pasta, whether the water should be boiling, little things like that that are going to make a big difference in your pasta at home. Dry pasta should typically be just a flour and water. So you're looking at durum wheat most often with water, sometimes a touch of olive oil in the dough itself. When it comes to fresh pasta, there are two basic different types. There are of course many variations, but the two basic types of fresh pasta are going to be flour and water, and then we also have egg and flour. Those are not interchangeable. A lot of the times people think that, if you make an egg dough, you can then make orecchiette and cavatelli, and that's not the case. Egg dough is geared towards certain shapes. Egg dough makes tagliatelle, pappardelle, ravioli, agnolotti, things like that. And then durum flour and water pasta makes orecchiette, cavatelli, and things of that nature. So they are different. Keep that in mind when you are about to make a dough. Certain shapes of pasta go with certain sauces. Now those shapes sometimes are meant to be fresh and sometimes are meant to be dry. For example, tagliatelle go very, very well with a big bold ragu. You could also switch it out for a dry pasta, but you would want something big and bold as well, a shape that could really stand up to the ragu. Probably my favorite example of pasta, what type of pasta, what goes with what sauce, is when we talk about angel hair pasta. Angel hair pasta is a very light and delicate pasta. It should be with a very light and delicate sauce. So if you put it and like it with bolognese, for example, that is a terrible thing. And that's because you lose the pasta. it should be with a light sauce because it is a delicate pasta, and vice versa. A bolognese would be overpowering and really couldn't be appreciated without the proper pasta to accompany it, like pappardelle, like tagliatelle. So these are the little nuances that are important. Another thing to think of when considering what shape goes with what sauce, having little nooks and crannies for the sauce to hide in, if it's a sauce that deserves that. Having ridges to help pick up a particular sauce, mimicking the size of the little bites in a pasta. Should be the same size bites. So if you have, let's say, calamari in your pasta, you should also have the same size bite of pasta.